I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there. It must have been so difficult for her being a solitary woman. There weren't women prime ministers or women presidents. She was the only one, so I think she carved her own role.
Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis dropped an unexpected bombshell that shattered the royal family's carefully constructed image, leaving the UK reeling. What was supposed to be a simple Christmas celebration at Westminster Abbey turned into an unvarnished honesty moment no one saw coming. The royal walls, which had been built over decades, cracked instantly, allowing the truth to leak out. Turn in. This is only the beginning. The truth is out there, and there is no going back. Silence in Westminster Abbey signals the end of the holiday season, which should be about warmth, hospitality, and family unity. This event was intended to honor exactly that. Guests were invited to leave notes on a kindness tree, adorned with glittering lights and festive decorations. Princess Kate devised the concept, which was intended to bring people together. Then one message grabbed my attention and changed everything. Everything appeared to be running smoothly, until Louis decided to be entirely truthful. He grabbed his note with his usual vigor and thanked his grandparents for always making time to play with him. But something else was missing. When asked why he had omitted Camilla, his response surprised everyone. He stated without hesitation that she had previously promised to play with him, but had instead called him nasty and advised him to leave her alone. The Abbey, which had been alive with the happy chatter of holiday cheer, went quiet. Eyes darted around the area. Kate's quiet smile faltered. The way Prince William spoke became tighter. Then there was Camilla, who temporarily lost her trademark cool-headedness. The vibe immediately changed. Though Louis's innocent remark revealed a deeper truth, the royal family has always portrayed unity and legacy. The Wales children have a close, loving relationship with their Middleton grandparents, as evidenced by their frequent baking, playing, and spending time together. However, Camilla's relationship with them appears to be different at all times. Less warmth, greater distance. Take King Charles, for example. He has been seen gardening with his grandchildren and reading bedtime stories, fully embracing his role as a hands-on grandparent. Camilla has maintained a higher level of formality, however. Her emotional distance from the Wales children has not gone unnoticed, whether intentionally or not. Previous royal meetings made this even clearer. Camilla was seen in another part of Windsor Castle with her own family, while the Wales children were seen spending time with their parents and King Charles at last year's Easter festivities. It was impossible to have a clearer emotional and physical separation. Although blended families can be difficult, every interaction is closely scrutinized when your family is constantly in the public eye. William and Kate have made it their goal to provide their children with as typical an upbringing as possible. Their Windsor Adelaide cottage home is brimming with love, laughter, and the simple pleasures of life. Running around outside, playing board games, and spending quiet evenings with their Middleton grandparents. Though they protect their children, events like this one at the Christmas celebration demonstrated that even royal life is not without stress. Louis's comment was an honest moment from a child who sees things for what they are, rather than a platitude. Charlotte paid attention as usual. She is naturally protective and usually looks after her younger brother at public gatherings. She has been observed guiding him through unfamiliar situations, holding his hand and ensuring he does not become overwhelmed. She had previously stood by his side when things got tough, and it would most certainly not be the last. Camilla's complex family role extends beyond personal dynamics. It is linked to an unchangeable history. For William, his mother, Princess Diana, and her well-documented difficulties are always present. Although he has been courteous and polite to Camilla, their relationship is only formal at best. Though she does not demand a closer relationship, Kate, known for her grace and diplomacy, ensures that the children show her the respect she deserves. This creates an interesting contrast. The children's relationship with their Middleton grandparents is warm and familiar, but their interactions with Camilla are stiff and distant. Louis's lighthearted antics stole the show on Trooping the Color, but he and Camilla were clearly separated. This is about both history and personality variations. It is about a legacy that continues to shape relationships in ways that may never fully heal the royal family. Wales children are growing up in a very different royal scene. George, Charlotte, and Louis are redefining what it means to be royal, whereas previous generations were expected to simply accept customs. The youngest members of the Wales trio, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, took center stage. These royal siblings are known for their playful nature and charm, and they usually melt hearts wherever they go. However, this time it wasn't Charlotte's grace or cheeky grin that drew people in. Louis said, or rather revealed, something that called into question the monarchy's carefully cultivated image. However, he then dropped a bombshell that could completely undermine it. Everything began in a fairly benign manner. The Abbey was decked out in festive lights, inspired by Princess Kate's desire to promote unity and introspection, and visitors were encouraged to leave handwritten notes of gratitude on a kindness tree. Louis, who was always upbeat, proudly displayed his card, which politely thanked his grandparents for always playing games with him. However, things took an unexpected turn when someone asked why Queen Camilla was not mentioned in his note. His response came out like a thunderclap without thinking. He claimed Camilla had agreed to play with him but found him disruptive and asked him to leave instead. If that wasn't enough, he claimed to have seen her sitting alone and barely moving. Set the uncomfortable looks and whispers. Kate's usually calm smile appeared forced as she hurried over to speak quietly with her son. Prince William appeared concerned, and Camilla's usually calm demeanor faltered briefly. This unvarnished honesty from him revealed something else, the obvious stress within the royal family. While mixing families can be difficult, any interaction involving the royal family is magnified in front of the public. The Wales children's close relationship with their Middleton grandparents stands in stark contrast to their apparent cold relationship with their step-grandmother Camilla. Consider King Charles. Gardening with his grandchildren and reading them stories demonstrate his hands-on approach to grandparenting. Camilla, on the other hand, has maintained a more formal demeanor and only interacts with the Wales children during public events. Last year's Easter celebrations at Windsor Castle, where the Wales children spent time with their parents and King Charles, while Camilla was with her own family in a different part of the castle, highlighted this distance. Events such as the Christmas service highlight the ongoing struggle to strike a balance between traditional royal responsibilities and the realities of modern family life. Away from the relentless scrutiny of royal life, William and Kate have worked hard to give their children a solid foundation. The kids can run around, play board games, and even bake cookies with their Middleton grandparents at Adelaide Cottage, their Windsor home. However, no established family custom can completely shield them from the complexities of royal relationships. His remarks at the kindness tree were a rare sight behind the palace walls, not just a youngster speaking out of turn. These types of events serve as a reminder that even the royal family struggles to combine homes and bridge generational gaps. The palace has publicly expressed its support for family unity. Privately, however, it is clear that not every family dynamic is as perfect as they would like us to believe. And then there's Princess Charlotte, who has increasingly obvious protective instincts for her younger brother. Charlotte's grace and poise are impressive, whether she's guiding him through royal events or negotiating difficult social situations. She quietly took his hand and assisted him in greeting guests when he appeared overwhelmed by the crowd at a recent garden party. These minor but significant events demonstrate the Wales siblings' close relationship, which appears to provide them with stability amidst the turmoil of royal life. History complicates Camilla's relationship with the Wales children. William is likely to struggle to forget his mother, Princess Diana, and her public battles with Camilla over her role in her divorce from Charles. William has always been polite to Camilla, but insiders say his interactions with her are at best friendly. Kate, the diplomat, ensures that the children respect others, but does not advocate a closer relationship. This delicate balancing act is symbolic of the larger challenges the family faces in navigating their complicated past. Camilla has a very different relationship with her own grandchildren than she does with the Wales children. She is frequently seen clearly dividing herself at family gatherings while spending time with her first marriage grandchildren. For example, his light-hearted antics during last year's Trooping the Color provided a humorous break, but Camilla maintained an emotional and physical distance from him. This divide reflects the complex dynamics that have shaped the royal family over time, not just generational differences or personal preferences. Though it is never easy, every mistake is magnified when the entire world is watching families blend. These difficulties are part of growing up in one of the world's most famous families, according to the Wales children. One thing is clear, as the royals negotiate their changing roles in a modern society. The next generation is already defying expectations in ways no one could have predicted. These young royals, whose personalities range from George's quiet leadership to Charlotte's protective demeanor, are proving to be more than just photo opportunities. Despite receiving far more attention, they are actual people with real relationships navigating the complexities of family life, just like the rest of us. Charlotte, on the other hand, has carved out a unique place in the family. She is well known for her confidence and grace, which she frequently displays when rising to meet demands. Her protective attitude toward him, as seen in public, emphasizes her nurturing side. It goes beyond simply being the middle child. Charlotte's demeanor suggests that she takes her work seriously, while also balancing surprising maturity with playful sibling dynamics. Louis is the youngest and perhaps most energetic of the three. From his cheeky comments at events to his unvarnished honesty, royal watchers are now thoroughly enjoying his antics. He represents the more sympathetic, humane side of the royal family. Though they appeal to the public, his candor and authenticity pose challenges in a society where every word and action is scrutinized. These siblings interact in an amazing way. George sets the tone with his leadership. Charlotte provides balance with her gentle approach, and he injects some spontaneity and fun. Despite their royal background, they create a dynamic that appears shockingly normal. They are fascinating because they balance traditional roles with modern uniqueness. Their parents' involvement complicates matters. William and Kate have worked particularly hard to protect their children from the demands of royal life. Their decision to relocate to Adelaide Cottage was motivated by both a desire for normalcy and proximity to the Queen. At Lambrook School, students participate in sports, arts, and other extracurricular activities designed to help them grow and learn outside of the spotlight. This strategy includes their family customs as well. The Wales family is well known for their movie nights, outdoor adventures, and Saturday morning pancake breakfasts. These times of togetherness ground the children and provide them with the stability and sense of belonging that a high-profile family requires. These customs are intended to instill values and a sense of identity, rather than just to create memories. Though most people perceive royal life as polished, these behind-the-scenes glimpses reveal a family attempting to strike a balance. It is about developing customs for a new generation, rather than simply preserving them. Their difficulties, ranging from managing public perceptions to navigating internal family dynamics, serve as a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect families are complex. The Wales siblings' relationship with their extended family represents a microcosm of this complexities. The children's more formal relationship with Camilla contrasts with their interactions with their Middleton grandparents, emphasizing the challenges of combining families. Even on a much smaller scale, many people can identify with this dynamic. Camilla's contribution, however, is more dubious. She has attempted to contact the Wales youngsters, but her relationship with them is clearly different. This distinction is not only about personality, but also about context and history. Diana's legacy looms large, influencing interactions and impressions in subtle and significant ways. One comment sparked whispers, but the underlying family narrative is even more difficult to ignore. Camilla's relationship with Welsh children has come under fire. The events at Westminster Abbey brought to mind this shifting dynamic. It demonstrated how often moments of authenticity can emerge even in the most controlled environments. Although unpleasant, these events helped the royal family remain relevant. Benevolent beneath the titles and grandeur, they are a family navigating the same difficulties and pleasures as everyone else. One thing is clear as the world watches the Wales siblings grow and evolve. Their path will not be typical. They are already making an impact on the monarchy, from Louis's lighthearted antics to George's subdued leadership and Charlotte's loving presence. Their story is far from over, and it demonstrates the power of tradition combined with modernism. Dramas abound in the British royal family, but this latest development has everyone buzzing. The monarchy has always been portrayed as an ideal, harmonious symbol of history. However, a polished picture can mask a complex network of conflict and nuanced interactions. These days, Queen Camilla's relationship with William and Kate's children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, is heavily emphasized. To be honest, the dynamics are quite complex and very intriguing. Camilla's path to becoming queen consort has been anything but easy. After years of public scrutiny and scandal, she went from being portrayed as the other woman in tabloids to marrying King Charles. She has certainly worked hard to establish herself within the royal family, but Princess Diana's shadow is difficult to ignore. Diana's legacy for William is more than just a memory. It is also a cornerstone of his identity and parenting style. Camilla's involvement in his children's lives is naturally delicate and, at times, strained. William and Kate have made an effort to maintain good relations with Camilla in order to respect her as Charles's wife. Still, cordial does not exactly equate to close. George, Charlotte, and Louis's interactions with Camilla appear to be, at best, official. Their interactions with Camilla are more detached than the affection and warmth they have with their maternal grandparents, Carol and Michael Middleton. This difference is highlighted by their apparent nickname for her, Gaga. Although it appears charming on the surface, it also highlights the distinctions between her position and that of a traditional grandmother. These dynamics can sometimes be observed at public gatherings. At last year's Trooping the Color, George, Charlotte, and Louis delighted viewers with their lighthearted antics and interactions with their parents and King Charles. However, Camilla's presence appeared to be incidental. Charles interacted warmly with his grandchildren, but Camilla's interactions appeared to be minimal and underwritten. Viewers couldn't help but notice the emotional and physical distance, which fueled speculation about her status within the family. This distance is deeply ingrained in history, and it is not simply a matter of personal dynamics. William's unwavering commitment to honoring Diana's memory pervades every aspect of his family life. Diana and Kate's approach to raising their children is heavily influenced by her values and legacy. The Wales family regularly tells Granny Diana stories, ensuring that her influence lives on for George, Charlotte, and Louis. This respect for Diana makes it difficult to truly embrace Camilla, whose life with Charles is inextricably linked to Diana's suffering. Camilla's family dynamics complicate matters even further. She has grandchildren and children from her first marriage, and they are still her primary concern. She is frequently seen at family gatherings leaning toward her biological side, emphasizing the divide in the mixed royal family. Camilla appears to have spent time with her own grandchildren during the Easter celebrations at Windsor Castle, while the Wales family was elsewhere with Charles. These separate meetings highlight the challenges of combining families within the rigid framework of royal legacy. These unvarnished, honest moments from the Wales children stand in stark contrast to the monarchy's emphasis on discipline and control. William and Kate's parenting style is refreshingly modern, with an emphasis on openness and relatability. This method allows their children to express themselves freely, but it also exposes flaws in their family dynamics. Louis's comment, as well as other public events, have demonstrated that the complexities of family relationships cannot be completely hidden, even with the most carefully chosen royal image. Camilla has had a long and difficult journey trying to fit into this dynamic. She has worked hard to gain public and royal family acceptance, but emotional ties to the Wales children remain elusive. Her close relationship with her own biological grandchildren emphasizes her separation from William's family. It serves as a sobering reminder that combining two worlds is not an easy task, even in the most privileged households. The way the media portrays these dynamics complicates the situation even more. The public's opinion of Camilla remains divided. Although some admire her tenacity and determination to face decades of criticism, others see her as a symbol of Diana and her son's suffering. This polarization shapes the story of her relationship with the Wales children, making it difficult to distinguish between fact and conjecture. Is it just the natural conflict of a blended family, or do George, Charlotte, and Louis keep their distance out of respect for Diana's memory? Most likely, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. As George, Charlotte, and Louis grow older, their interactions with Camilla will undoubtedly change. Will the emotional barriers remain, or will they come to see her as a true grandmother figure? Whatever the outcome, their relationship with her will influence public opinion about the monarchy's future. These children are the next generation of royals, and how they handle these difficult family dynamics will determine where the institution goes from here. Many times, the conflict between Camilla and the Wales children encapsulates the monarchy's larger problems in the modern era. The realities of royal life include balancing tradition with changing societal norms, managing personal relationships under close public scrutiny, and combining families within a strict framework. Camilla's struggle to fully integrate into William's family is a microcosm of these difficulties. The royal family's narrative has always been one of love, obligation, and resiliency. Camilla's rise from denigration to queen consort is proof of her will. Her relationship with the Wales children, on the other hand, serves as a reminder that even in the best-run households, emotional ties cannot be forced. Her and the younger generation of royals will have to bridge the gap through time, effort, and a willingness to navigate the complexities of their shared past. Camilla's relationship with the Wales children will remain important as the monarchy progresses. This narrative captures the institution's larger challenges, such as balancing the past and the present, maintaining unity among differences, and adapting to the demands of a modern society. Whether this chapter ends in reconciliation or continued estrangement, it serves as a sobering reminder that even the most famous families are fundamentally human. As these personal dynamics evolve, the public's obsession with the younger generation remains unwavering. As heir in waiting, George represents the monarchy's future. William and Kate's upbringing is being closely examined. Every decision they make reflects how they will shape the next generation. Charlotte, known for her ability to captivate audiences during public events, has quickly established herself as a standout player in her own right, thanks to her calm confidence. Louis, the youngest and most outgoing of the three, adds a welcome sense of spontaneity and humor to royal appearances. The way these children interact with their family, including Camilla, provides an insightful analysis of the changing royal dynamic. Their behavior at official events reflects a blend of modernism and legacy. Though they are not afraid to show off their personalities, they are polite and well-mannered. These one-of-a-kind events stand in stark contrast to previous generations, in which formality often trumped authenticity. William and Kate's efforts to present a more relevant and grounded royal image directly contributed to this shift in strategy. Outside variables, such as public opinion and the media, have an enormous impact. The British press has long shaped stories about the royal family, exaggerating tensions or causing conflict where none would otherwise occur. There is no exception to Camilla's relationship with the Wales children. Every interaction, or lack thereof, is dissected and investigated to fuel speculation and mystery. This constant scrutiny puts additional strain on all parties involved, making real connections even more difficult. Despite these challenges, one of the monarchy's strongest assets remains its ability to adapt and change. Camilla's relationship with the Wales children, while still in its early stages, provides opportunities for understanding and improvement. By confronting these dynamics honestly and openly, the royal family has the potential to redefine what it means to navigate modern family life within traditional boundaries. Camilla and George's changing relationship, as well as Charlotte and Louis, will continue to pique public interest. Their interactions will reveal how well the monarchy manages public expectations and personal ties. The way these young royals navigate these complexities will determine the future direction of the institution they represent. The monarchy's experiences demonstrate how resiliency and understanding can pave the way for unity and strength, even in the face of great challenges. One small comment raised questions about seemingly unquestionable customs. Royal tradition shattered by a child's honesty. The United Kingdom has seen its fair share of royal drama, but nothing like this. Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis have made headlines across the country for their outrageous remarks about Queen Camilla. It's about time someone expressed themselves. Given William and Kate's contemporary parenting style, it's understandable that these young royals are speaking their minds. Not everyone is happy about it, though. For decades, the royal family has been bound by customs, strict rules, and a great deal of bowing and curtsying. However, by raising their children as if they were children, William and Kate have caused problems. There is no more nanny doing all the heavy lifting. Children who were not heard or seen have passed away. Charlotte and Louis appear to be running with their freedom right now. Their most recent comments on Camilla, regardless of the precise language, demonstrate that this new strategy is beginning to pay off. And let's just say it's making waves. Camilla has always sparked divisive reactions. Some regard her as the queen consort, carrying out her royal duties with grace. To some, she is a constant reminder of a contentious period in royal history. Charlotte and Louis, on the other hand, appear to belong to a generation that does not believe in hiding anything. These children have grown up in an environment in which discussing emotions is not forbidden. It is advisable. This is excellent for developing emotional intelligence, but it is clearly giving the royal PR team some gray hairs. In contrast to previous royal generations, who were often raised by a team of nannies and only saw their parents at formal events, William and Kate are determined to be active parents. They have made it very clear that they want their children to grow up as normally as possible. As a result, they have chosen schools like Lambrook, which combine academic rigor and extracurricular activities with values such as compassion and community involvement. It is not at all like the closed-off, austere education their forefathers received. George, Charlotte, and Louis have a unique perspective shaped by a combination of royal legacy and modern parenting that is both relevant and mindful of their responsibilities. Kate's parenting style has been heavily influenced by her family, the Middletons. Carol and Michael Middleton are active in their grandchildren's lives, providing a consistent, grounded influence. These are the grandparents who organize family activities, tend the garden, and bake cookies. This participation is a welcome change from the more formal and detached dynamics that previously defined royal family life. The children's personalities reflect the warmth and relatability that William and Kate's decision to include the Middletons in raising their children brings. Charlotte and Louis have since become well-known public figures. Charlotte exudes confidence and maturity despite her young age. Her calm demeanor has resulted in her frequently guiding her younger brother through public events or appealing audiences. In contrast, Louis is the center of attention. Whether he's waving fervently, dragging faces, or simply being an energetic child, his antics at royal events have won him over the public. Their authenticity stands in stark contrast to the more buttoned-down image of previous royal children, and it is precisely what the monarchy requires to remain relevant in an age of rapidly changing technology. Although they try to restore normalcy, raising royal children is not an easy task. The media relentlessly scrutinizes William and Kate's parenting decisions. Encouraging their children to express themselves honestly puts them at risk. On the one hand, they are producing intelligent, self-sufficient individuals. In contrast, this transparency will almost certainly lead to events that challenge royal conventions, such as Charlotte and Louis's remarks about Camilla. Long ago, the royal family prioritized maintaining control over its members, story, and reputation. But with social media and instant news, that kind of control is practically impossible. William and Kate appear to recognize that the monarchy cannot survive if it adheres to outdated customs. They are attempting to adjust, beginning with the raising of their children. Though it poses a risk, it may be the only way to keep the institution relevant in the 21st century. The recent comments made by Charlotte and Louis serve as a wake-up call. They demonstrate that younger royal generations are not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom. Even if it means harming the family's reputation, they are willing to be sincere. This is exactly what the monarchy requires. Whether the palace likes it or not, these young people are delivering authenticity, something the British public expects. However, there are some drawbacks to this boldness. The monarchy is balancing modernization with traditional values. It's amazing how William and Kate's decisions reflect broader social changes. The British public now expects a more relatable royal family, and William and Kate are meeting this demand. Through open events and a modern parenting approach, they raise George, Charlotte, and Louis with empathy and humility, balancing royal duties with a grounded upbringing. Prince George is gradually introduced to his future role, while Charlotte and Louis bring warmth to the monarchy. The inclusion of the Middletons and diverse schooling at Lambrook reflect William and Kate's commitment to raising well-rounded, socially aware royals. Their emphasis on cooperation and shared experiences marks a shift in the monarchy's relationship with society. Though some criticize their approach as straying too far from tradition, William and Kate are ensuring the monarchy evolves with modern values. Their children are being raised not just as heirs, but as adaptable, responsible leaders in a world that values authenticity and connection. This approach, including their use of technology, signals a monarchy willing to embrace transparency and change, securing its future relevance. Though the foundation they are laying today demonstrates a willingness to engage rather than retreat from the complexities of modern life, it remains to be seen whether this approach will result in the stability they seek. With its legendary past, the monarchy is approaching a version that is inclusive, relevant, and most importantly, human. Is Louis's candor a troubling breach of decorum or a welcome glimpse into royal reality? Tell us your thoughts. Remember to enjoy, subscribe, and stay tuned for more royal insights.